Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning out there this Sunday morning. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, get a few people into the room. As always, this video will be saved and I will post a link. Good morning, Matthew. I'll be posting a link in the Facebook group and on social media. In case you come into this a little bit late, you can watch it in its entirety at your convenience. And I also encourage everybody, if you're watching this video, to like this video, subscribe to my channel. That way you're notified whenever I go live, as long as your notifications are on your phone or your tablet. Crazy Acres, good morning. Hopefully everybody's getting plenty of coffee in their system. The way it looks, we might need some hot coffee, especially next weekend. Well, we got a lot of information to go over this morning. So, as I mentioned last weekend, looking out over the next 14 days as of last weekend, there's some big changes going on. This time of year, the jet stream, which has been up into Canada all summer, is retreating southward and getting stronger and setting us up for our fall and eventually into our winter seasons. That jet stream is down in southern Canada right now and is being pulled into the United States by some fronts that are moving in. A great sign that we are entering into the fall season, and especially after a week that we've had. We've had temperatures in the upper 80s, low 90s, hovering right around the record highs for this time of year. So it's going to be a welcome relief to see some of these cooler weathers move into west central Missouri and into the Midwest. So let's dive right into it. What you're looking at right now is above our heads. These are the steering winds that drive all of the low pressure systems, all the high pressure systems. And this gives us a good indication of where the fronts are and where they will be after a certain amount of time. A very simple model. If you notice right here, this is our first cold front that we'll be talking about. I don't want to do that. Let me back out of this. That's this right here, counterclockwise, and it's going to be diving down to the south and then shooting straight back up here to the north. So let's take a look. I'll set this in motion here and look at the timestamp up here. This is today. We're still underneath the ridge. That is what's creating our high temperatures, our very warm air being pumped up from the Gulf of Mexico. This will eventually break down come Tuesday night into Wednesday. So if you keep an eye on the date stamp here, I'm going to kind of put this, go through some motions here. So here we are. This is Sunday night. Notice it's really starting to dip down here to the south, and then the jet stream will pick it up and shoot it up to the north. And if you notice, our ridge is starting to break down, and as we head into Tuesday night, that ridge is off to the east and will be dominated by a northwest flow. We go into Wednesday night. Now we want to take a look at this up here. This is what they call, if you want to call it a backdoor cold front, a secondary cold front. This is what's really going to bottom out our temperatures this weekend. And as we continue to go forward toward that weekend, notice how that dives right into the Midwest and into West Central Missouri. This is Friday afternoon. And you see we have, if you take a look at these little isobars right here, the lower they go, the cooler the temperatures. Once you hit 540, which is right up here, that is the freezing line. And as we continue to go into Saturday, we're still being dominated by this northwest flow of wind, bringing temperatures way down, as well as very, very dry air behind this. We will have, and I'll go into the precip mode here in just a minute, but the secondary cold front, whenever you have one that's trailing one cold front, then you typically have extremely dry air. We're going to have dew points in the 20s, 30s, and 40s behind this initial cold front that moves through Wednesday night. We'll have extremely dry air, which is very easy to cool in the evenings once the sun goes down. So that is where our cooler temperatures is coming from. Still northwest flow as we go into Sunday. And this turns into a big storm system up here into the northeast. And notice that once we go into Monday and Tuesday, it's going to be really, really tough to find anything going on in the continental U.S. We'll be dominated by northwest flow of wind, beautiful weather, all the way until we get to about Wednesday and Thursday next week. And if you notice, these isobar lines will begin to kind of start to creep up. Another small ridge will develop by next weekend. But what's nice about this, and what signifies that we're kind of going through this transition period now that is starting, is that we're still going to have warmer days because we're still in fall. But these warm days will only last 1 or 2 days, not a week, not 2 weeks. We'll have a couple days that we'll get highs back up into the mid-80s, but the lows are going to be down into the upper 60s, very comfortable, a little bit drier air. So this is why I'm kind of thinking this is really going to be the start of our fall season here in West Central Missouri, starting on Wednesday night. We go into beginning of next week. We will see that we're going to be kind of dominated by high pressure again come a week from Tuesday. However, the temperatures are still going to be quite comfortable into the 70s. So let's take a look at how low we're going to get. Let's take a look at some temperatures here, and what we'll do, we'll backtrack this back up here to today. And we see we've got today's Sunday. Remember, look at the timestamp. As we go forward, we're actually going to warm up into the 90s today. And then as we head into Wednesday, we'll fast forward this on to Wednesday. You can see these cooler colors signifying cooler air starting to make their way into the Midwest. That's the cold front, the initial push that we just talked about. We've seen it on the upper level wind maps. And then as we head into Wednesday, that cold front begins to slide through, and our temperatures come crashing down behind it. So here we are in the 60s Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And then we're going to start seeing the secondary push of cold air right here begin to come into our area on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And take a look at some of these low temperatures. We're going to be into the upper 40s come when we wake up on Friday and Saturday mornings. Friday afternoon, warm up to about 68 degrees. I don't even think we'll even hit 70. And then as we continue on, look at Saturday night lows. Central Missouri, 41 degrees. Springfield, 42. Kansas City, 46. 39 in Columbia. And then we'll warm back up on Saturday into the mid-60s. That's going to be it. Mid-60s on Saturday. Under beautiful sunshine skies. I mean, it is going to be gorgeous next weekend. And then as we continue on through next week, we're going to see lows into the 40s, highs into the 60s, low 70s. Just beautiful. Now, as we head into middle to end of next week, we begin to see that little ridge popping up. And warmer temperatures will funnel back in toward the middle of the end of next week. Notice 83 degrees Tuesday. And then we'll hit 84 on Wednesday. Still comfortable, still dry air. 82 Friday. And then we'll have our warmest day, I believe, Friday and Saturday. I think these are a little bit overboard. I think probably just upper 80s. But the humidity levels will be low. So it will not feel like it's 90 degrees out. And then, of course, then we jump right back over to Saturday. And again, upper 70s, low 80s. So they don't last long. So that's great news for you guys that love the cooler weather, that I think fall is here. Now, let's take a look at precip now. And we'll take a look at this is back to today again. And we'll take a look at so here's our low pressure system that will be moving down and creating this line of storms. Now, right now, I'm not anticipating, even though this is a very strong cold front, we have to keep in mind that there is going to be a chance of thunderstorms with this line that moves through on Wednesday. Small potential right now for a few of these to be severe, but I think the best area to see severe weather is probably going to be down to our southeast. Central Missouri, parts further to the southeast. But it is something I'm keeping an eye on because we will have thunderstorms in the area. You see this line of thunderstorms coming through on Wednesday, bringing some heavy rains. That's one thing I'm pretty sure of, that we're going to see some heavy rains in West Central Missouri. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches, possibly a little heavier in some areas on Tuesday night and Wednesday. And then as this moves out, the cold front makes its way through West Central Missouri. Notice there are some thunderstorms here. And for those that know how to read hotographs, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you don't know how to read these, that's fine. It's a little bit complex. But this is what you call a T-skew. This is a hotograph. And this takes into consideration all of the elements that make a thunderstorm. This right here will tell you what direction the winds are going, how fast the storms are going, and whether or not there's any wind shear, which is obviously very much needed for a severe thunderstorm. Not seeing too many indications other than some strong thunderstorms. This here is a little bar that I look at. It's this here is about the level that you would see a classic supercell, and at this time frame over West Central Missouri, it does show some strong storms. It actually goes beyond the classic supercell line. However, none of the other ingredients that are needed for severe thunderstorms are showing up in this model data right now. So remember us talking about CAPE. CAPE is the convective available energy that is available for thunderstorms to thrive on. That is just one parameter of what you look at for severe thunderstorms. And these things are very, very low. The values are very low here, so I'm not expecting any severe thunderstorms with this line of storms that will come in. However, they are going to be strong storm producers, bringing us much needed rainfall in West Central Missouri. So that is good news for those still needing to fill up on their duck ponds, and for the ranchers that need their ponds for their cattle filled up. This is going to help in that endeavor come Wednesday. So as we move on through Wednesday, and we'll let's take a look here. So as I'm going to backtrack here a little bit, it jumped on me. So as the thunderstorm moved through on Wednesday, then we begin to clear out, and we will not see, notice, remember me telling you about that 540 line? Right here is the 540 line on Friday, dipping all the way into central Iowa. We will have 32 degrees in central Iowa. Now look, that 540 line makes its way early Saturday morning into northeast Missouri. It's getting close, guys. The seasons are getting close. So northeast Missouri from around Chillicothe over toward Hannibal could be dipping down into 32 degrees on Saturday morning. And then we'll see that 540 line move off to the east as we settle underneath an area of high pressure, clear skies, cool weather through middle to end of next week. Total precip. So let's take a look at that. So total precip that we're going to be looking at here in West Central Missouri. Obviously, we're not anticipating any moisture up until Wednesday. So as we set this in motion, there's not going to be much going on until we get to around the Wednesday time frame. So notice here, late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we begin to see some showers, thunder showers move into West Central Missouri. Well, this thing continues to jump on me. Sorry about that. We get into the day on Wednesday, and that's when we see our totals drastically go up through Wednesday morning. Through Thursday morning. We will see, anywhere between 1 to almost 2 inches of rain is what the models are showing right now for West Central Missouri. So much needed rainfall coming in on Wednesday. I don't think anybody, a lot of guys are going to be finishing up with corn. Some of them are hitting beans right now, going out. So you've got the rest of today, Monday and Tuesday, to get out in the fields and then we'll see this rain move in on Wednesday. So we're about a week away, guys, from the setup around October 7th of the new LRC. That's the Lezac recurring cycle. And here within a couple weeks, I'm sure Gary Lezac is going to come out with his new model data on what we can expect for the winter and going into 2024 all the way through next September. So I'm excited. I posted, the last couple of weeks, I posted 3 or 4 different videos on the website under video weather news on some meteorologists and what they're predicting for the winter. I have not seen any forecast yet that shows the Midwest, specifically West Central Missouri, being anything other than a wet winter. Now, there's a lot of variances in that. We're going to be seeing, we're going to be finishing up next month. We are under an El Nino warning, and that will end up finishing up here in October, in which we'll be under a full-fledged El Nino. Actually record-breaking temperature down into the Pacific that is we've never seen before. So I'm anxious to see what the LRC is predicting for our area with a record-breaking El Nino season before us. So come tomorrow, he is going to be updating, sharing with us an update of the LRC, and we will hear what Gary Lezac will say. I will be posting that on YouTube tomorrow evening, barring that he's that he's going to go ahead and release his weekly video to us, and I will have that on YouTube tomorrow night for everybody to go over. So exciting. It's exciting. I don't know, and again, we've never seen an El Nino this strong before, ever, since we've been keeping records. So I kind of have my doubts personally on a extremely wet winter for West Central Missouri. With this strong of an El Nino, I think it's going to produce extremely wet weather for Texas, the southeast, all the way up into the northeast, and we'll have basically an average winter. But that's just me. I'm a 100% believer in LRC, so that's what makes it very interesting to hear what Gary's going to come out and say here in the next couple weeks. So. In the meantime, guys, we're going to have, today, we are going to have very warm temperatures, 91 degrees for the high around 4 o'clock today. And we're going to have the same tomorrow and again on Tuesday. So very warm conditions until this cold front comes through. And then a secondary push on Friday through the weekend. But plan on getting out and enjoying next weekend. Next weekend is going to be absolutely beautiful. If you're planning on taking a road trip, we're going to start to see the fall colors begin. Everything is kind of changing here over the next week or two. So get out and enjoy it. If anybody has any questions, if they're going to be traveling, need to know maybe what weather to expect, where they're heading, please feel free to let me know, and I'll be more than happy to give you my take on that. Right now I am filling up just about every week through December. I am going to schools, giving a talk on weather and doing a few fun experiments, and those are filling up I'm going to have a busy year, but it's something that I love to do. I love to share my passion with the kids in school. They seem to enjoy it, so I am looking forward to it. But I am going to be a busy beaver over the next few months, so looking forward to that. And if I will be updating, just basic updates until probably Tuesday, and I'll have a more in-depth update on what we can expect on Wednesday. I'll be keeping an eye on the threat for any kind of severe weather as these storms move through with this initial cold front come on Wednesday. So everybody get out, enjoy the beautiful Sunday, drink plenty of fluids. It's going to be a warm one out there, and we'll talk to you guys soon.